My dear sisters and brothers, as Jesus was speaking to the crowd, a man raised his voice and said, "Tell my brother to share the inheritance with me." In the time of Jesus, before and after the time of Jesus, people consider the rabbis as judges. People used to bring their family disputes, problems, and issues to the rabbis. It was not wrong for this man to have called the attention of Jesus to his family problems. But Jesus did not want to get involved. Rather, Jesus used this opportunity to teach us, his followers, the right attitude we should have towards material possessions. There are 2 or 3 important things that come out clearly from this parable. The first one is that our life does not belong to us. Your life, my life, does not belong to us. We are borrowers. God is the lender. There's no one who gets to his bed or her bed in the night and is 100% certain that he or she will wake up tomorrow. Anyone here? Is there anyone here who is certain of the next minute? Nobody is certain. Our life does not belong to us, but God has given it to us, and he can knock on the door of our heart anytime and say, "Give me back what I have given to you." You can't say no. Even if you are the richest politician or you are the richest man or woman in the world, and you get the best surgeon, the best medical doctors, they can never save you if God says your time is up. This man was gathering everything, getting everything together, but he forgot that his life did not belong to him. The first lesson that Jesus wants us to take home today is that our life does not belong to us, and we should not try to pretend to place our security in our material possession. Number 2, Jesus wants us to understand that everything we own is temporal, including sa ating buhay. Our life is temporal. Our life has expiration date. Just as you go to SM or Gesano, you look at things, you look for the expiration date. In the same way, all of us here, both who are sitting and those who are standing, we all have the date for expiration. You may not know, I may not know, but God knows. Everything is temporal. Why are we struggling and fighting and quarreling? I have seen people who are fighting for plots. I have seen people who are fighting for lands. I have seen people who are fighting for sakyanan, for culture, for different kinds of material things. I am looking at them like that. I have seen those who are fighting for lots, plots. But when they die, they will be buried in the same lot. The lot will remain. But we make mga kaaway, we make enemies. We make enemies with our brothers and sisters because we are struggling for inheritance. We are struggling for material things that are temporal. They will remain here sometimes and we will go. So Jesus wants us to understand clearly that everything is temporal. Number 3, if you look at this gospel passage, you will understand that this man had a certain problem. The problem was that he was not able to see that there is life after here. He was not able to see beyond himself. And that was why he was so self-centered. He was so selfish. Who is a selfish person? A selfish person is one who is always about his or her own interest. The person does not care how you feel or how another person feels. He was very selfish. If you look at this gospel, you will see that he was aggressively using the personal pronoun. I, me, mine, myself. Anyone who has this kind of individualistic attitude is very selfish. If we look at the first reading, we see what we are invited to do. Meaningless, says the preacher. Vanity upon vanity, everything is vanity. We walk, we toil every day. From morning to evening we are working, but at the end of it all, when we lie down in the coffin or the casket, everything is forgotten. Let me say this. The first reading is not in any way inviting us to become tapulant, to become lazy. But the first reading is inviting us basically to know where to place our dependence. We are not invited not to be diligent. We are not invited to stop working, no. But we are invited not to place our total trust in the material things. Because you may say that Father Eva said, no, we don't need to save money. No, that's not what the Bible is saying to us. The Bible is saying to us that we should not place our security in material things. Because everything will pass away. Everything is temporal. In the second reading, St. Paul tells us, put your eyes, put your focus on the things of heaven. There are many people who have become sinungaling, those who have become bakakun, those who have become liars just because of greed. There are many of us who are businessmen and women. We keep on lying. Every morning we are lying. Every afternoon we are liars. Every night we are chronic sinungaling. Why? Because we want to get all the money. If we get all the money, where are we bringing all the money? Money can never give us happiness. Money can only give us pleasure. There's a difference between pleasure and happiness. Pleasure is temporal, but happiness is of the soul. Many of us are fighting with our brothers and sisters because of material things. The responsorial psalm says in Psalm 90, "O God, please teach me the shortness of my life. Let me know that life is too short. Instead of using this short life to make friends with my brothers and sisters, with my kapitbahay, with my silingan, with my neighbors and friends, why do I use the short time I have here to make mga kaaway, to make enemies? Our life is like flower. In the morning we are beautiful. In the afternoon we are beautiful, pero in the evening we begin to wither. I have seen beautiful people, I have seen actresses, I have seen celebrities, pero when they die, they are cremated, they are put as ashes inside the urn. I have seen people who are never sick, rich people, wealthy people, but suddenly they got sick, they went to hospital, they were told, you have stage 4 cancer. In 4 months or 3 months, wala na. Why are we fighting? Why are we quarreling? It's not just for the rich, it's not just for the politicians. Even the poor people are fighting and quarreling for things that are meaningless. Our life is short, brothers and sisters. There's no one who is going to live here more than 200 years. I have not seen, only few. You see that tree there? The tree will be here. Many of us were not here when the tree started existing. But the tree will be there. We will die, the tree will remain there. My dear sisters and brothers, we are invited today to remember that we should keep our focus on God. And that's the last line in the gospel today. Look at this. Thus will it be for all who store up treasures for themselves, but are not rich in what matters to God. What is that which matters to God? Our relationship with Him. How can I build my relationship with God? St. Paul says in the second reading, focus on the things of heaven. Do not allow yourself to be trapped in the things of earth. The things that matter to God are generosity, kindness, love, compassion. Archbishop Fulton Sheen said, When we die, we don't bring any of our material things. When we die, we can only bring the things we use them to do. There's no Gesano in heaven. There's no SM in heaven. There are no roads in heaven. You're not going to drive your Porsche. You're not going to wear your zapatos, because we are going to be like angels. So why can't we use what we have now to make heaven? Let us pray, dear sisters and brothers, that we may understand that everything is meaningless without God. But with God, there is meaning in everything.